Hiya, have you ever told yourself, I'm too old to start this now? Or have you just asked, is it too late to start this? Is it too late to start that? Maybe I can't start something new now? Or how many times have you thought, hmm, if only I'd started earlier? Today, I want to talk about how it's never too late to learn, right? No matter what your age is. There's a comment that has inspired me to make this video, and the comment said this: I've just bought an old motorhome. I'm going off around UK. My aim was to get out in nature. Lots of apps to help find places to stay. I pay for food and fuel. LPG is cheap for cooking. He is right about food. Cold food is also good for digestion. Eat what's in session. Using spices in winter will help. Warming spices. Make soup. It's so easy. I'm learning about naturopathic nutrition. 3-year coursework. I am 70, and to me, it's just a number. Where does this myth that something can be too late, where does that even come from? We're taught that, school is for the young, university is for your 20s, and then by the time it's your 30s, you should have your life all figured out. And older people are often told to just accept life as it is without the learning and the evolving. The reality is, the world is full of examples of people who started late. Now, the easiest ones that probably I can give you is famous examples, right? But I just want to caution here to say that you don't need to get successful at whatever you're learning, right? The point of my video is more about the fact that you're just still willing to explore, willing to learn. I'm very passionate about that. Like, I'm a big believer in just learning new skills, exploring life, being curious. Yeah, stay curious, right? Anyway, here's some famous examples of people who got that message very clearly in their heads. Julia Child, sure you heard of her, wrote her first cookbook at 49. Stan Lee, rest in peace, the late Stan Lee, he created Marvel Comics at nearly 40. Colonel Sanders is another one. He started KFC in his 60s. And there's another one less famous, but I just looked it up. Catherine Peters, she started university at 46, and then she became a literary biographer. Anyway, the point of that is these people, they didn't let age stop them. If they can do it, why can't we? Why can't you? There must be people in your life as well, maybe you know some neighbors. If you go to like these art classes, you go to little clubs, there's just people trying to keep themselves occupied, trying to learn stuff and being curious. Now, because they do that, there's quite a few benefits to life learning, which makes it a very good idea for everyone to do. First one is cognitive. Learning keeps your brain sharp. Scientific studies show that learning new skills reduces the risk of dementia. Keeping the brain engaged strengthens neural connections, making it more resilient against cognitive decline. Right? I'm just reading from the research by Walden University, but there's tons of examples of this kind of research. People have known about this for a long time. Sometimes we need a reminder, though, right? Now, granted, of course, this is for people who are healthy, and unfortunately, sometimes stuff happens to us, like illnesses that we just simply can't control. I've worked in an English marking exam before, and there were a lot of my co-workers were like 60 and above. They didn't really need to work anymore. I think they were near retirement age or past retirement age, but they just liked doing that job because it kept them mentally active. And in the morning, before we started the work, they were doing all these crossword puzzles and stuff that I can't even do. There's one called Cryptic. Is it from the Times? Yeah, that's a tough one. But these older people, they were doing it every morning. The other benefit is emotional, right? Learning boosts happiness. And I think I've mentioned that in my previous video. Staying curious, like how children are always curious. That's why they're all excited and happy. Adult learning increases self-esteem and confidence. I'm just going to read from the research again. Feeling accomplished in something new brings excitement and energy. You never regret learning something, but you always regret not trying. And how about you? Like, think of the last time you learned something new, anything, maybe a new way to cook an egg. How did that make you feel? Another benefit, last but not least, is learning gives you purpose. People with active learning habits report feeling more fulfilled with their lives. Without growth, life can feel repetitive. Learning brings new challenges and excitement. So there you go. So now that we know, or we've reminded ourselves that lifelong learning can have tons of benefits, how do we start? The key to starting something is to start small. If it scares you, just start small. Pick something that excites you. Pick something that you've always wanted to do but never bothered. Learning a new language, cooking from scratch, playing a musical instrument, writing short stories, gardening, or growing food. Another tip, use free learning resources. My number one pick for that would be YouTube, where you are right now. I'm sure if you're a YouTube lover, you've noticed that there's so many useful courses on YouTube. Yeah, some of them, a lot of them touch the surface often, and then you can go onto other platforms that go a little bit deeper, like Coursera, Khan Academy, there's Udemy. Those ones are paid platforms, but you do get a bit more in-depth things to go through. The other one is local community colleges, adult learning programs. They've always got tons of stuff. Maybe look up what's happening in your town center. But the point is, you don't need to spend a ton of money. You don't need to go to university to learn. There's so many free resources. You can just do it yourself, do it with a friend, make it more fun, you know. Another tip I have is to build a daily habit. It's something that you have to continuously learn, continuously spend your life staying curious. One little habit that you can probably try is listen to a podcast while you're commuting, or listen to a podcast while you're, cooking, whatever, doing your laundry. Spotify is great for podcasts. Read 10 minutes a day. That's all it is. 10 minutes a day. That's a great, easy habit to start with. Or if you really, really want to start light, is try that something new just for 5 minutes. Stop it after 5 minutes are up, so that the next time you're really, really looking forward to it. What's one small thing that you can do today to start learning? The other one is kind of relates to the phrase, we are who we surround ourselves with. So why don't you surround yourself with like-minded people, curious people, right? Learning in a group is always more fun. Being social is one of the key to life's happiness. So if you join a local group, in the community college, or there's tons of online communities like on Discord, on Reddit, maybe even on YouTube. If you find a very niche channel on YouTube that, for example, specifically talks about woodwork, then most likely most of the people in the comment section will be people that are interested in woodwork, and then you can just strike a conversation. Because the more you'll talk to learners, the more inspired you'll be to just keep going. There'll be a little competitive vibe to it. So to bring it back to the original comment, what spurred this video is, why was it so inspiring? It's because at 70 years old, instead of he or she, sorry, I don't really know, from the comments writing, instead of thinking they're too old, they embraced life fully. They're not waiting for life to happen, they're just creating their own path straight away. It's not about age, it's about mindset. It doesn't matter if you're 20, 30, 40, or 70, the only mistake is never starting at all. And the same goes the other way, actually. If you are 20 and you're thinking, oh, I've got my whole life to do something, don't wait. Do it now. So tell me in the comments, what's the one thing you've always wanted to learn? Or what are you learning right now, actually? And to close up the video, I want to finish up with this sentence. Life isn't about how many years you live, it's about how much you grow in those years. Right, if you found any value in this at all, even if it's just putting me on in the background while you're making your tea or coffee, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, but you want to, please do. And I'll see you next time.